We begin our report with a brief reprieve in Gaza. The White House says Israel will pause its military operations for 4 hours daily in northern Gaza. This will allow civilians to move south towards food and humanitarian aid. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says a ceasefire won't happen until Hamas releases all hostages. CBS News' Debora Patta is in Jerusalem with the latest, and we want to warn you, some of the images you are about to see may be disturbing.
Tonight, the first glimpse of hostages since the ground invasion started. In this video, their captors claim to be ready to release both 77-year-old Hannah Katsir and 12-year-old Yahiel Yaakov, kidnapped from the Near Oz kibbutz. They are just two of the roughly 240 hostages still in captivity. We will not run the video or what appears to be scripted, recorded messages praising their captors. On the ground in Gaza, heavy battles raged. This Israeli military footage shows soldiers walking into a building they say is a Hamas weapons manufacturing site. And from the air, Israel's fiery bombardment blazed across the night sky, striking right next to this hospital. Fleeing the embattled north, a torrent of people, tens of thousands attempting the perilous journey along an evacuation corridor. But refuge is hard to find. This was supposed to be a safe zone. Our CBS News producer Marwan Al-Ghul raced to the scene of the destruction, arriving to find battered bodies and bloodied faces.
Tens of people were killed here, and the people are trying now by their bare hands to pull out the bodies and injured people.
But survival means not only escaping death, but finding enough to eat and drink. Bread no longer a necessity, but a dwindling luxury. And clean water so difficult to find, children have turned to the sea. I add sugar to the salty water so I can drink it, said this little boy. As they run back into the sea, childhood play twisted into a grim new reality.
And Debora joins us now from Jerusalem. Debora, what ultimately led to Israel's decision to allow these daily pauses in northern Gaza?
Well, John, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has been under intense pressure now for quite a while to allow some kind of humanitarian pause, not least of all from the United States. Now, remember, at the beginning of this war, just after that brutal Hamas attack on October 7th, President Biden came out immediately in support of Israel. He visited the country. He was seen with Netanyahu saying that Israel had the right to defend itself. But as the war enters its second month, and that civilian death toll just gets higher and higher, it's a staggering figure, not least of all the fact that nearly half of those civilians are, in fact, children. And the images that we're seeing are horrific. The world is outraged, and that is putting mounting pressure on Netanyahu to let some kind of ceasefire happen. We've seen Secretary of State Antony Blinken. He's been in the region. He's had all his shuttle diplomacy, visiting various leaders in the Middle East. He was met with open hostility in Turkey. There were protests in the West Bank over the weekend when he visited there, with people saying that Blinken had blood on his hands. So they're weighing a very different kind of challenge right now. On the one hand, wanting to support Israel, but also having to deal with this outrage over the civilian death toll. We've seen the United Nations join in also, saying enough is enough. It's human rights experts calling it close to calling it genocide, saying the time is running out to prevent one. And I think all these factors have come to bear. But of course, key to all of this is the release of hostages as well. And that has been something that the United States has also been working around, saying that if you allow a humanitarian pause, it could maybe allow hostages to be released as well. And so finally, we've seen Israel agree to 4-hour humanitarian pauses, and more importantly, they will announce them ahead of time so that hopefully people who want to flee the bombardment in the north can actually move when possibly it is a little safer to do so.
And Debora, I'll combine two questions. The first is picking up on the point you just made, which is this enough time for people to get out of Gaza? And then secondarily, is there any update on the hostage situation?
Well, if you consider, John, that around 80,000 people fled that bombardment in the north today, that's a lot of people on what is really just one escape route, one humanitarian corridor. 4 hours doesn't really seem like a lot of time. Most people are on foot. Some get onto donkey carts. We've seen people even being wheeled in wheelchairs. And bear in mind that there is a desperate shortage of food and water, so people are probably quite weak as well as they search for refuge, and it's not always safer along the route. We've seen that there's been bombings and explosions in the south, so searching for refuge is quite elusive at the moment. It's a 25-mile walk from the north to the south, and 4 hours when there are thousands and thousands trying to flee doesn't feel like a lot of time. In terms of those negotiations for the hostages, well, there are talks under the way in Qatar. The CIA director, William Burns, is there with his Mossad counterpart, and they're trying to negotiate a release of about 15 hostages, which would include women, which would include children, which would include foreigners, and that would be in exchange for a 2 or 3 day humanitarian pause, which would also allow aid into Gaza.
Debora Patta in Jerusalem. Thank you so much, Debora.